Becoming chill makes life 100 times better. And I say this as somebody who used to be very high-strung. I used to be very anxious and worked up and so tense. I would get overly emotional and reactive to specific situations in my life. I would get worried about following specific routines and going to the same places and making sure I was on time for everything. And I was just overly fixated on optimizing all areas of my entire life. But ultimately, this led to a bunch of negative consequences with my physical and mental health. And then a few years back, I woke up and realized, what's the point? Why am I being so stressed out and anxious and being overly rigid about every little thing in my entire life? It makes no sense. So I decided to be chill. And when I say chill, I don't mean chill in some, yeah, just chill, man, in that hippie pothead sort of way. Although I did have that phase in my life. But no, well, when I say chill, I mean this cool, calm, and collected nonchalance about your personality within reality itself. And yes, you can be cool, calm, collected, and nonchalant while still caring about what's happening within your life all around you. So, in today's video, let's talk about exactly that. There's no denying that we're living in a world that is so fast-paced. Everybody's on the go. Everybody's trying to be productive. Everybody's hustling. But alongside this, everybody's always overly stimulated. And what this is causing is a society of people with a dysregulated nervous system. A bunch of people who are overly emotional and reactive to just about everything that's happening all around them. And look, emotions are normal. They're perfectly okay to feel. But most people are living in a way where they're leading with their emotions, especially men, from what I'm seeing in the modern world. Many men are leading with their emotions and getting overly reactive to even the smallest of inconveniences within their life. From my experience, life becomes so much better as a man when you can become aware of your emotions, when you can accept them, and consciously choose if you want to deeply feel this emotion or not. This is one of the primary pillars of being chill, and the way I'm trying to explain it here. A great example of somebody who is chill, even in the craziest of situations, is the character John Wick, played by Keanu Reeves. And there are, I believe, 4 John Wick movies. Now, the whole point of John Wick is he's this essentially broken man after his wife died and his puppy died, and he's just on revenge. He's going after everybody who is in his way, and it's nonstop action. So, John Wick, he's always being pursued by some assassin. The underground government of sorts is coming after him, and yeah, he has all the reasons in the world to be emotional and reactive and acting impulsively within his world, but he's not. He's chill. No matter where he goes, no matter what he's doing, he's cool, calm, collected, and he moves with intensity. He's very purposeful in all the things that he does. And this is something you can embody within your own life. While you probably don't have Russian assassins chasing you or the underground mafia putting a hit on you for $14 million, what I can say is that this can be applied to all areas of your life. It could be being chill when you're driving in traffic. It could be being chill when you're sitting through a stupid meeting at work that really isn't getting anything productive done at all. No matter what the situation is, you can always be cool, calm, and collected. Your ability to keep a cool head and do the things you have to do, no matter how you're feeling, will set you apart from 99% of people. And what you'll begin to realize is that most of the people around you, whether that's family members, friends, colleagues, or just random folks on the street, when you interact with them, you'll see how emotional they are with everything they say and do. You'll see how things that are happening all across the world are really triggering them emotionally in ways that you know aren't serving them at all. But you can just sit back, smile, nod your head. You can empathize with these people for feeling and thinking in these ways, but ultimately you know you're centered, you're composed, you're calm. And we can take this even a step further. It runs so much deeper than just being chill. I like to talk about the Law of Detachment. And the Law of Detachment is something that you've probably heard of many times before. And in many circles, it's seen as this mystical, magical thing, but It's really not. This law of detachment is actually rooted in practicality. It's essentially the idea of not clinging to specific outcomes that you want to achieve. You know, many people go about life with this emotional attachment to the things that they're pursuing. And they have goals, they have ambitions, and even in terms of their opinions to everyday situations, they attach their emotions, which subconsciously also attaches their identity to all those things. This to me is one of the most misunderstood things in modern times, because on one hand, you have the group of people who would be like, yeah, well, I strongly believe in this, right? Really want this thing to happen. And then on the other hand, you have people who are like, yeah, well, I perhaps believe in this opinion, but I'm not gonna get all emotional about it. That opinion isn't who I am. Or, yeah, I want to achieve this goal here, but ultimately, I can't control whether I achieve it. All I can control is the things I do in order to put me on that path to build momentum towards that goal. As I said, this is something that's very misunderstood. You know, when you have an attached mindset, somebody who emotionally is clinging on to the things that they believe in, or the things that they own, or the things that they want to achieve, we have people who are essentially operating from a place of scarcity. These people are needy, and they're anxiously waiting for things to go their way. And then on the other side, you have somebody who is strong-willed. They have clear intentions, but ultimately they're going to take action without expectations. No matter how things turn out, they know that, all right, I'm going to be okay. To some people, being detached might sound cold or callous, but in reality, you're just operating at a level that isn't dependent on a specific outcome. And to me, that's game changing. Within your mind, within your heart, within your soul, you know that the external world, it can only influence so much. No matter what's happening, you're gonna do what you gotta do. You're gonna say what you have to say. And all those things happening all around you, they won't deter you from continuing on that path and building momentum towards whatever it is you're trying to pursue. You're internally calm. You care about things very deeply, but you aren't panicked about whether or not things will work out, or whether or not things will happen in a specific way. You've just let go. It's the biggest thing. Just let go. And on the surface, to somebody who's close within your circle, they might look at you and be like, wow, you obviously don't give a shit. You obviously don't care about whatever this thing is. But that's fine. You know, you can let them believe that. Deep down, you actually care perhaps more than they do. You're just not allowing your emotions and your desires for something to work out in a specific way to cloud your judgment. Because when you have a clouded judgment, then your decision making, your thinking, and your actions ultimately won't help you move forward in that direction. Life becomes so much better when you can fully embrace this cool, calm, and collected nonchalance. This detachment from everything that's happening around you, not in a robotic way, not a psychopathic way, but simply in a way that just means letting go and just letting reality unfold before your very eyes. Because ultimately there are many things beyond your control. That's a given, right? So many things that are way beyond what you can interact with. But ultimately, your inner world, your inner state, that is well within your control. And when you decide not to get wrapped up in all the nonsense going on around you, you have so much more time, attention, and energy to dedicate towards things that actually matter to you. To me, that's life-changing. So, I'll leave you with this one quote. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you soon.